Happy Miracle Monday. This is Dawn Petalino, your spiritual transformational coach. And on Miracle Mondays, what I do is I help to remind you of certain truths about your real self that move us out of a state of fear back into our true power and true state of love where miracles arise. So today's Miracle Monday has to do with daring to choose peace. And I say daring because when certain things come into our life that cause us to feel afraid, whether it's situations, whether it is people that we love going through something, whether it is something with our health, our finances, whatever it is, when situations come into our life that are causing us fear, then the very first thing we have to do is dare to choose peace. Now that might seem like a huge leap because we're looking at this thing and we're saying, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? This looks so awful. I don't know how I'm going to manage X, Y, or Z. And so we're already kind of foreshadowing this outcome that is going to cause us to struggle, or in some way we have to survive through it. And what we forget is that is our judgment. That is our judgment. You know, the Course in Miracles says that you have no idea of the tremendous release and the deep peace that comes from meeting yourself and your brother without judgment. And the Course of Love says, without judgment, all would be at peace. All you would see is peace. Peace would shine upon everything you see, including every situation you face. Now that's the trick, is without the judgment. Because the judgment is what causes the fearful thought. It's how we're seeing it, interpreting it, guessing it's going to turn out. That's what's causing the fearful thought. So instead, we have to dare to choose peace. You know, the Course in Miracles says that if you're not at peace when you're feeling afraid, what's really going on there is that you are acknowledging the power of something else to hurt you. And the peace of God denies that anything that is not of God could affect you. And that is the only proper use of denial. So that's why I call it healthy denial. It's healthy denial is in this moment when I'm feeling afraid, when I'm looking at a situation and I don't know how it's going to turn out, where I can't really see an outcome, that I don't see how that could work out, or I don't know how to do it, or whatever it is. It's usually that fear of the unknown, and I don't know what's going to happen. At that moment, I have to go within and get still, because the Course in Miracles reminds us that your true self is at peace. And if your mind is still in conflict and you're still afraid, then you haven't gone back far enough. You haven't gone back to the beginning. So we need to sit a little longer. I call it time in the lap. So sometimes I need a little more time in the lap if the fearful thinking comes up too close and I'm struggling to get through it. I need a little more time in the lap because I must go back to the beginning. I must go back to the truth where myself knows peace. And once I tap into that stillness, and once I can just, you get out of our heads. This is what I'm saying, is that you have to just deny. You say, you know what, I hear you thinking. I hear you thoughts. I hear all that stuff that's going on there. And even in that, I am going to choose peace. I'm going to allow myself to be at peace. And it will feel like a denial, but you go there and you stay there. And then you remember. You stay there as long as you need to allow God to be God in you, to remind you of your truth, because your body does not lie. And then when you get up from that chair, when you get up from that stillness and you go out into the world, you be a presence of peace. You say,